all the time. Thank you guys for coming aboard. 27 days until the National Football League will have one of its greatest events. Non-contact, by the way. Non-contact. And you're still going to generate nearly 25 million people to watch that thing and hear a guy say, hey, we're going to draft Billy Bob Smith from Nowhere University in the 5th round, and everyone at a bar is going to cheer. It's one of the greatest bar events of all time, the NFL draft. It's a 3-day event. And it, again, shows you the National Football League and how they have their finger on the pulse of everything that goes on sports-wise, even with the NCAA tournament, even with Major League Baseball, and starting it up and getting the Philly season going, getting the rest of the baseball season going. Make no mistake, one of the greatest weeks in all of sports is opening day of Major League Baseball. I don't really like how they spread it out, though. It used to be back in the day when I was a kid. It was Cubs and Cardinals April 6th, and that's how you opened it up. Or it was Cardinals and Phillies, or it was like Cubs and Mets, or Cubs and Phillies. It used to be like that, right? Not so much anymore, but hey, end of the day, still Major League Baseball, and I grew up a baseball fan. So do me a favor, hit the like button. Supers go to the top, and boy, again, the team that continues to deliver every single day has to be the Philadelphia Eagles. Really does. Has to be, without a doubt, one of the only teams that delivers content each and every single day. Yes, we're going to get to this. Daff, appreciate you doing it, bro. Big sales of how he can pull off a Garrett trade. Does that effectively destroy Patriots from getting AJ? How you doing, my friend? I salute you and Xander. Thank you. No. How would that have any effect? Get this. Well, I see what you're... No. Well, wait a minute. Actually, Daff, if you want Myles Garrett and you want to... That's a great take. And we're going to start with that. And I think you just hit on something. Okay? I think that is a great take by you right now. I wasn't even thinking this. How about this, Daff? Let's just say the Browns want 3 ones for Myles Garrett. You trade A.J. Brown post June 1 to the Patriots. Only cost you 2 ones. It covers one of the 2. It covers one of the first-round picks. And you might be able to trade out of 23 down and create another first rounder the following year. Follow me here, guys. Think about this move here. Hey, all of you, tell me if this makes sense. M. Reyes, even our detractors, say they want 3 ones for Myles Garrett. Obviously, you would do this post June 1, right? You can't do it pre, because the salary cap hit for the Browns would be enormous. Post at $17 million. So you really can't do it at the trading deadline. You're going to have to make this deal post June 1. Here, let me get the number just to be sure, because we don't want to say anything. Trading of Myles Garrett cap hits. Okay. Here you go. Following a March 2006 restructuring, Myles Garrett trade can become more feasible with a potential pre-June 1 trade triggering a $41 million dead cap hit for Cleveland, down from $70 The restructuring deal allows the Browns to split the dead money over 26 and 27. So you could spread that $70 million over 2 years if a trade after June 1, while reducing the salary cap. Get this, the cap hit is $9.14 million. Very doable. Very doable. So, if you are the Browns, you're not going anywhere this year with Myles Garrett. Follow me here. Post June 1, the Eagles and say it's a 3-year deal you got on, or it's a 3 first-round deal on the table for Myles Garrett. You tell me if this makes sense. 3 first-rounders, Howie's on the table for. Okay? In this April draft coming up, you trade down from 23 and out of the first round to acquire another first-round pick next year, which gives you 2 first-round picks next year. You trade out. You get multiple 2s, and the following year, you get 2 first-round picks. You'll have your own, and you'll have the Browns. You'll have 2. No, you have New England's. You'll have 2 first-round picks in 2027. Okay? My friends, that means it only costs you, theoretically, it'll cost you 1 first-round pick, not your own. It'll cost you only 1. If you sent him post June 1, AJ, to New England for a 1, next year you'll have 2 first-round picks. Nobody said he's taking a fucking year off. You're not taking a year off, dude, when you're acquiring Myles Garrett. Nobody in the NFL draft coming up in the next 2, folks, nobody in the next 2 years, nobody in the next 3 years is going to equal the talent level of Myles Garrett coming out of college. Nobody. Not one person. Nobody's taking a freaking year off. How are you taking a year off when you acquire Myles Garrett? It takes a year off. Get this, guy. There's nobody in the next 3 drafts that will equal anything you'll ever do by acquiring a talent of Myles Garrett. Nobody. Bailey has the potential to be the next Myles Garrett. You're high. Sills, the only issue with that is that this 2026 draft is thin. It's hard to believe that a team would give up a 27 first for any player available at pick number 23. Oh, I think so. When you go and you need a quarterback, and Ty Simpson's the outlier. Bro, stop talking to me about dumb college. And by the way, you're not even in the conversation for Bailey. What are you bringing Bailey up for? You think you're landing on Bailey? He's the second player taken. You're not landing on Bailey. It's a moot conversation. Seal's got a point. If we're in win mode now, why not swing for the superstar? Think about this, guys. You get Myles Garrett, you're never drafting a guy in the next 3 years. No matter what this guy John thinks, he ain't getting a second pick in the draft to go get Bailey from Texas Tech. You ain't getting that guy. That guy's going number 2 overall. He thinks he's falling to 23. Yeah, okay. Unless he's caught with a gas mask on, he's smoking weed. That's a great idea. Maybe AJ is going to be part of this deal on how to get Garrett. Maybe he is. Hey, by the way, somebody asked me a question. Somebody asked me a question today. Okay? Let's see where John goes. I'd said trade AJ and Tanner to the Jets. AJ and Tanner for the second overall pick? No, thank you. Give me more. That's not enough. You want to trade me a Hugo, and you want to trade me a Volkswagen to get into a position to buy a Ferrari? Think bigger, dude. Think bigger. That's not enough to get to 2-hole. I love how these Eagle fans will do this. I'll trade Nolan Smith and Tanner McKee for Myles Garrett in a 1. Who in their right mind would even pick the phone up to that? Nobody would even pick the phone up for something like that. Yeah, it looks like Kennard is off the table, wants a bag of money. Yeah, and that goes back to my point. Why didn't you just give the guy the extra $2.5 million then? So you're not trading for Kennard. Myles Garrett, is your front four Garrett, Carter, Hunt, Davis best we probably had since Gangrene? You bet it is. Plus your linebacking core, Campbell and Bond. That's a formidable front seven, my friend. That gets it done to making you the number one team in the NFC. If that shitty offense comes around, you do something like that. By the way, yeah, see, get this right here. Here's what I said. Once again, on the Jalen Phillips deal, I'm not paying anybody 30, but you better have a deal. So M. Reyes is saying this. They should trade for Kennard, pay the 30, and give 2 picks up. Yeah, nice move, kid. That's a non-plan plan. I trade my Tom Pratt rookie card for a signed Dick Allen baseball. It's a great deal. Todd Pratt, bro, this thing right here means a ton to me. By the way, does it have one of the sticky things on it too? Look at this, man. I think Bud Selig. Bud Selig's name's on it too. Bud Selig, how you doing? Yes, sir. Trade Ringo, no interest. Jake Elliott, no interest. Nolan Smith, no interest. And Tanner McKee. Laugh out loud. Thank you, Rich. Think you got the point? Rich did get the point. Sills, you got to explain slowly for the ladies. I get it. Some of these guys just don't get it. I mean, that's so stupid. Give 2 picks up and pay Greenwood 30. That's why you trade for Garrett. Thank you. That's M. Reyes' take. So for me I said this. Okay, well, if you're going to pay Kennard to 30 and give up 2 1s, why didn't you sign Phillips then? And he says, I'm flip-flopping on it. I'm saying, no, you didn't have a plan. If you're paying the guy 30 and giving up, that means in the last 8 months you gave 3 picks up. Sills knows what LOL means now. Usually it means this, laughing out loud or lots of love. I'm assuming from you, so it's laughing out loud. Not the personality you have. Kidding. Sills, you're secretly Sam Darnold. I like Sam Darnold's story, my friend. The Browns don't want Nolan Smith. Smith 3.0 sacks last year, and he's injury prone. No shit. Nolan Smith. By the way, you got a $15 million decision. You're going to pick $15 million up on Nakobe Dean 2.0. How you doing? Todd Monken was with Pickens at Georgia. If the Cowboys offered Pickens a 1 and 27 and 28, the Eagles not beating the deal. Don't see the Browns trading Garrett. Why? They've restructured for a reason. Now, listen, I'm not counting the Cowboys out. I'm not counting the Cowboys out of that deal. No way. Jerry Jones said he's all in. He might just be all in here. I'm with you, man. I think Jerry's somebody you got to keep an eye on here, my friends. And usually they say you get slower when you get older. He's getting finer like wine. How you don't? He is getting finer like wine. Get this. Jerry Jones is an idiot with the most expensive franchise in the world. 3 Super Bowls. More than you. Since he bought the team. Most visible team in all of world sports. And he's an idiot. And he bought the team for $150 million. Got it. Like your definition, M. Reyes, of an idiot. Guy bought the team for $150 million. Okay. And in that 40 years, he's turned it into the most expensive franchise on the planet. He's got 3 Super Bowls. And he's the most visible brand in all of sports. Some idiot. Myles definitely getting traded. That's the whole reason they restructured the deal. The Browns didn't save any money on the restructure, and usually that's the only reason teams do that. Completely agree with you. I say we trade Dan's cowboy helmet for the 2027 third-round pick. Okay? Hey, Sills, one more thing. Excuse me. That's why Howie brought in those 2 receivers and going all in on the defense since it's Vic's last dance with the new regime. Okay? Glad to see the chat working good here. Thank you, guys. By the way, please hit the like button. We appreciate you here. Get so many options on a Friday. This could be our Reggie White trade. It's time we're the Packers. Same situation. Love that good take there. That's a really good take. Haven't even got to the topics yet. How you doing? Okay. Okay. This Eagle deal here. Listen, I wrote this down because I talked to some folks on how realistic this is now. How realistic is this to happen? Well, the Browns made it easy to happen. This is not something that the player, you have to ask, do you understand what's happened here? So Andrew Berry, the general manager of the Browns, went to Myles Garrett and his agent and basically said this: hey, would you be open to restructuring? They've had to have some conversation also on potentially trading. And Myles Garrett and his team had to okay this. You guys get that, right? Like, they had to okay this. So Myles Garrett had to say yes. Yes, I'm open to it. Because he's got a no trade. Hey, get this. Let's make sense of this. Jerry's literally the Vince McMahon of the NFL, correct? Get this. Folks, ask yourself this. Okay? If you're Myles Garrett and you have a no trade clause in your contract, which means the team really can't do here. This is going to be so simple, even dumb Reyes can get this. If I have a no trade clause in my contract, what's the point of restructuring the deal for the guy? To be able to move a guy who, no matter what I do, could say no and veto it. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to restructure a contract for a guy that can veto any move I want? What's the point of restructuring? Didn't save me any money on the cap. I got no relief. And it made it easier for the team to spread out the money. Make that make sense. I do all this work from the Browns and Andrew Berry. I do all this work. The player goes and says, I'm not doing anything you want to do. I got a no trade. You guys can put your erasers and your protractors and your pencils away. Scurry along. I'm not going anywhere. What's the point? They had to have had a conversation with him. Or his agent went to him and said, listen, if you guys want to move me in the end of my career here, or in the next 5 years, I have a shot at winning a Super Bowl, I'd be open to listening. That doesn't mean he wants out. That just means he's just open to listening. Is Nicole Lynn his agent? She's fabulous. If that's the case, Nicole Lynn is his agent. She's a fabulous, fabulous agent. She's like the senior VP now at Clutch. What I just told you, it makes no sense. The only people that get relief if there's a trade are the Browns. Garrett's money's not affected in any way. Nicole Lynn is working on a deal, and the relationship that she has with Howie, if she is his agent, they're trying to work out the particulars. Howie Roseman may work 2 deals at one time, trading A.J. Brown to get the draft pick, one of the draft picks back, and get Myles Garrett and make your defense better. Dude, I'll take, if I have to get rid of A.J. Brown and I acquire Myles Garrett, my football team got better. It looks like Howie Roseman is building the team, and with Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore, and with Devontae, and with Darius Cooper, it's not sensational, but it's not awful. And if I could get rid of AJ and acquire a 1, give the Browns 3 1s, and I get one of those 1s back, and I only have to surrender 2 over the next 3 years, maybe I can even go 27 and 29 on first-round picks. I'm in. It would be 2 1s, even with the initial 3 first-round picks. Trade A.J. Brown post-June 1. You get one of those picks back. I could get, wait a minute, you mean to tell me, in theory, I can get Myles Garrett for a cheaper price than what Max Crosby was going to be for the Ravens? Howie Roseman will wear the crown forever if he can pull this off. And you get a wideout in 2 in the second round. Oh, I mean, dude, and let me put it to you this way, too. I think it's totally realistic. And the reason it's realistic, why would the team do all this when a player has, it would be like doing this. I'm going to restructure Jalen Hurts' contract so that it looks like I can trade him, with Jalen having a no trade. Well, I don't care what you do. I'm not going to the Jets. I'm not going to the Miami Dolphins. I'm not going there. AJ didn't put up crazy numbers that 2 wide receivers couldn't combine to get, and our offense is going to be more spread out. Get AJ out of here, bring in Myles, and draft a wide receiver in a second. That makes sense? That makes sense. That makes sense. Dude, get this. Hey, get rid of AJ, acquire Myles. I got better. Myles, here, I'm going to show you guys something. Let me show you Myles Garrett's impact. Okay? Hey, somebody do me a favor. Tell me how many wins the Browns had last year. Could you imagine Myles Garrett and Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis and Jalix Hunt and Campbell and Bond playing together on one unit with Cooper and Q? That would rival what's in Houston. That would rival what's in Houston. 5 wins. Am I right? Kyle, you're always on your cues. They had 5 wins last year. Is that right? The Cleveland Browns went 5-12 last year. Is this correct? 5-12. They went last year. Okay. How could the Browns be the 4th-ranked defense in pro football with 5 wins? How could they be the 5th-ranked defense with 5 wins? How can that be? 5 football wins. You guys doubled them. And they had a better defense than you. Okay? 5 wins. 5. And they were 5th in total defense. 4th, excuse me. Pass defense. The Browns were 3rd. Rush defense. The Browns were 15th. What were they possibly in scoring? They couldn't have been that good. They were 12th. The Browns had a better scoring defense than the 49ers, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bears. All teams that made the playoffs. Third down, they were 7th. The Eagles were what? 23rd. And they won 5 games. 5 games. That's the impact of Myles Garrett. You imagine him on the Eagle defense with better players around him? They'll be number 1 defense in pro football the next 3 years. Number 1 defense. Putting Garrett on that Eagle defense. With Vic, you might make Vic stay. So the acquiring team for Garrett would be responsible for cap hit in 26 of 8.1, 16-1, 21-4, and 57-9. How he can do something with this. Yeah, void years on the flip side. Still, statistics don't mean anything. The only thing that matters is winning. Again, statistics pay players. They do matter to players. I'm trying to talk to you about his impact as a football player on a unit for 17 games. The Browns had a better defense than you a year ago, and they won 5 freaking games. Playing from behind almost all the time. Do you understand that? There's no fucking potential. I know who Myles Garrett is. Here's the difference. You want to know what the difference is with this dumb take? That kid Bailey is potential. Myles Garrett's a certainty. He's a certainty. There's no gambling. There's nothing potential. There's certainty. The draft is potential and uncertainty. Are you comparing DeMarco Murray to Myles Garrett, a first ballot Hall of Famer? Yeah. Dude, you need to be quiet. This guy just compared a trade that he would be the next DeMarco Murray, Myles Garrett. Wow. Kid, you're going to be put in the closed corner over there for a while because you got no brain cells. Friday ain't your day, man. You should take the rest of the day off, kid. Not doing well for you. You must be under the weather with like a pneumonia or something. It's all good, kid. Not even acknowledging it any longer. You need to sit over there and you need to calm yourself down. Hey, Sills, hope you're having a great day. Me too, brother. I appreciate you very much. Make up your mind, Sills. You went on and on about New England not paying. Paying what? Explain what you're talking about. Make up my mind? How about the Philadelphia Eagles make their mind up? They can't make their mind up over an edge. You're going to let an edge go for $2.5 million and then turn around and pay Grenard the $2.5 million anyway at 30 and give up 2 ones? You need to make your mind up. Because that makes no sense. That's not a plan. That's a plan. That's a panic plan. There are other teams who will be interested in Garrett who can offer better than the Eagles. Yeah, but you know what those other teams can't offer? Vic Fangio and an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. By the way, one thing about Myles Garrett, A.J. Brown's got a Super Bowl ring. Myles Garrett doesn't. If I could make the same money in Philly that I would anywhere else, Philadelphia is the landing spot for me. Why in the hell would I want to go to Tennessee? Why would I want to go to Dallas? Why would I? How about this? Let's do this. Let's do the Cowboys versus the Eagles. Why would I go to Dallas? I know we got Cowboy fans in here. Okay? Okay, why in the world, if you're Dallas, why would I go to the Dallas Cowboys if I'm Myles Garrett? Do I want to play with Dak more? That could be. Dak's a better passer from the pocket than Jalen Hurts will ever be. That could be. Who's coaching me? Well, I had Jim Schwartz, and now I got Vic Fangio. And even though Christian Parker, I think, has an opportunity to become a great defensive coordinator, Vic wins that one. Who's got better talent on defense right now? Well, I think the Eagles have better talent right now on defense. How about the offense? I think the Eagle offense is overrated. It is. I think the Eagle offense is overrated. Having Garrett, we would have the best front seven in the NFC. It wouldn't be close if you're picking at the end of the first round, making the trade. M. Reyes must have had some sort of condition. There's no way someone could be this dumb. If Garrett came to Philly, he'd break his own sack record with 25. Playing next to Carter and better players? No, only dumb Reyes would think that. Dumb Reyes actually thinks the draft picks in the next 3 years are more valuable than acquiring a guy like Garrett. And anybody who thinks that has no idea what they're talking about. The Eagles will never draft a player in the next 3 years that will equate or deliver the kind of performance or production that Myles Garrett at any position, wide receiver, quarterback, offensive lineman, defensive tackle, nobody in the draft in the next 5 years will produce what Myles Garrett will produce for you in the next 3 years. Nobody. As a matter of fact, the only other player that you've ever had defensively that's in that guy's language and in that guy's world is Reggie White. That's it. You're requiring Reggie White. M. Reyes rides in the small yellow school bus with the funny hat on. Yeah, that's exactly right. He's the guy in the little hat, and he's got his name tag on, and it says Dumb Reyes. And on the other back behind it, it says, kick me when you walk by me. Still, what fans are also forgetting is that Garrett has a no-trade clause, so he has to approve the team the Browns are talking to him. He's not going to a shit team. Absolutely, he's not going to a shit team. That's why when you try trading him someplace, he's not fucking going anywhere. I'm all for Garrett, but you constant hated. Bro, you under some impression I hate the Eagles? You compare them to New England constantly. Well, when a football team in the last 40 years has been to 12 Super Bowls, yeah, I hope so. You don't have Tom Brady. Wait a second. So the last 40 years, Robert Kraft has been to the Super Bowl 12 times. How many times have you been since he bought the team in 94? Curious. Are you under the impression you're a better franchise than New England? Based on what? Seriously, based on what? They've been to the Super Bowl with three different coaches and 3 different quarterbacks. And been to 12 of them. They've been to 20% of the Super Bowls. How are you close? You've never been to 12 Super Bowls under Robert Kraft's time. You've been to 12 Super Bowls? Close how? They double you in Super Bowl wins. Only one with Brady. Well, who drafted him? The Patriots did. Look, they don't want to give credit to the team that drafted Brady and developed him. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Just to expand on Reggie thing, he was 32 when he was traded. Garrett is 29. Reggie played till he was 37. This isn't a rental. It's an era. Yeah, I love that take. They haven't been shit since they just went to the Super Bowl. They just won the AFC. Hey, you might not want that as a take there, kid. You might want to take that one down. Myles Garrett is that guy. Mac is the only real edge that Vic has had. Vic asks things of the edge that most don't, like dropping in coverage. Vic can make this thing work. Yes, I totally can make this thing work. Hi, Sills. What I'm hoping is that the Eagles pattern themselves like the Patriots because of how shrewd Kraft is. I hope Howie is the same. Agreed. Listen, the one thing that, but here's Blaine. The thing that the Eagle fans don't get. The Patriots would never have even thought about not trading AJ. They would have done it already. They wouldn't have held on to him until he became a second rounder. They would have traded him away to get premium picks for him. Eagle fans are sitting there thinking, you know what the Eagle fans are doing? They're looking at their draft picks as like, you're not looking at the player we're talking about. I'm not getting rid of draft picks just to get rid of draft picks. I'm getting rid of draft picks for guys like Myles Garrett. Not some dude like Jonathan Grenard. I'm not giving picks like that away and then paying the additional $2.5 million. That doesn't make sense. There's no common knowledge to that.